Beloved souls of abundance, hear this truth. The words you speak today are the architects of the wealth you will live tomorrow. Each thought, each decree, each whispered phrase carries within it the seed of your destiny. Speak lack, and lack will multiply. Speak riches, and riches will hasten to find you. The universe bends to the vibration of your voice, for your words are not empty. They are commands written upon the fabric of life. Now is the time to awaken to your divine inheritance. Money is not an enemy nor a master. It is energy, pure and infinite, waiting to serve you. It flows where it is welcomed. It answers the call of faith, not the cries of fear. When you release the chains of doubt and replace them with affirmations of certainty, the river of prosperity bursts forth. Say it with boldness, I am a magnet for money. Wealth flows to me in avalanches of abundance. Every bill is paid, every need is met, every desire fulfilled. Feel the truth vibrating through your being as you declare these words, for affirmations are not mere phrases, they are divine decrees. When spoken with unwavering faith, the invisible becomes visible, the unseen takes form, and the impossible bows before your command. Cast away every thought of poverty, for it has no rightful place in your mind. Stand tall, clothed in gratitude, and give thanks for the riches already flowing your way. Gratitude is the key that unlocks doors no man can shut. Each thank you speak multiplies the blessings at your feet. And remember this, divine timing is perfect. What is yours cannot be lost. The channels of wealth open at the appointed hour. Trust the process, surrender with confidence, and know that life conspires to deliver every treasure that belongs to you. Live now as if prosperity were already yours. Walk with the dignity of abundance. Think richly, speak richly, act richly. The universe mirrors your inner state, and when you dwell in wealth within, wealth without must appear. This is the unchanging law. So let us affirm together with unshakable conviction. Money flows freely, continuously, and joyously into my life. I am open, I am ready, I am worthy. Speak it until every cell of your body vibrates with truth. Speak it until opportunities flood your path. Speak it until your life reflects the boundless prosperity that has always been your birthright. The time is not tomorrow, the time is not someday, the time is now. Manifest money now, and watch as the riches of the universe rush to meet you. Every word you speak is not a mere sound that fades into the air, but a living force that continues to shape your destiny long after it has been uttered. Words are seeds, invisible yet mighty, and when you release them into the universe, they do not vanish. They take root in the unseen and return multiplied in your life. To understand the creative power of words is to grasp the secret behind wealth, success, health, and happiness. What you decree with your mouth, what you declare with conviction, becomes the reality you walk into. There are no idle words. Each one is charged with energy, and that energy attracts its likeness. When you constantly speak of lack, of not having enough, of struggling to make ends meet, you are sowing seeds of scarcity. Those seeds sprout into experiences that reflect your declarations. On the other hand, when you boldly affirm abundance, prosperity, and financial ease, the soil of life responds with harvests of wealth. Many people do not realize that they are the authors of their own conditions through the words they use daily. A casual complaint about money, repeated often, becomes a command. A thoughtless remark such as "I'm always broke" or "money slips through my hands" sets in motion forces that ensure such experiences continue. The law is impartial. It does not judge whether your words are careless or intentional. It simply manifests the vibration you have spoken. That is why it is written, "By your words you are justified, and by your words you are condemned." Words can build or destroy, heal or wound, bless or curse, enrich or impoverish. The choice rests with you. Consider for a moment the power of affirmation. To say with unwavering faith, "I am a magnet for money. Wealth flows to me easily and continuously," is to plant seeds of prosperity into the subconscious. The subconscious mind, which does not argue or doubt, accepts the statement as truth and begins to arrange circumstances, people, and opportunities to reflect it. The power of words lies in their ability to penetrate this inner realm where thought is transformed into form. If you speak abundance long enough, you will feel it, believe it, and see it. Your reality will shift to match the decree of your tongue. Think of words as vibrations that ripple through the universe. When you speak with conviction, the sound carries far beyond your hearing. It enters the unseen and resonates with forces that return to you multiplied. This is why certain affirmations, when spoken repeatedly and with belief, have the power to alter lives completely. They are not magic tricks but spiritual laws in action. Just as you cannot plant corn and expect to harvest wheat, you cannot speak lack and expect to gather abundance. Your harvest always matches your seed. Speak wealth and wealth responds. Speak poverty and poverty obeys. Words also carry images. When you declare, "I am prosperous," your mind forms a picture of prosperity. That picture becomes a magnet, drawing similar images from the outer world. If you say, "I can never afford that," your mind locks onto limitation and attracts more situations of insufficiency. But if you boldly affirm, "I can afford all that is divinely mine," you open channels for provision to appear in unexpected ways. Words are builders of mental pictures, and those pictures are blueprints for your life. Change the words and you change the picture. Change the picture and you change the outcome. Many people have reversed their fortunes simply by altering their language. A woman who once declared daily, "I never have enough money," shifted her words to, "I always have more than enough." Within months, her financial situation transformed as new income streams opened. She had done nothing extraordinary except reprogram her inner world through the consistent use of powerful words. Another man who repeatedly said, "I can't find work," began instead to affirm, "The perfect work finds me now." Soon, an opportunity appeared that exceeded his expectations. The change began not in the outer world, but in the spoken word that redirected his inner vibration. It is vital to understand that words spoken in faith are creative, while words spoken in fear are destructive. Both are powerful, but they work in opposite directions. To say, "I am afraid of losing money," is to draw loss toward yourself, while to say, "I am divinely protected in all my finances," is to shield your wealth with spiritual power. Fear-filled words open the door to failure. Faith-filled words open the door to abundance. You cannot speak fear and live in freedom. You cannot speak lack and live in prosperity. Guard your mouth as you would guard a treasure, for your lips hold the key to your fortune. Gratitude also magnifies the power of words. When you declare, "Thank you for the money that flows to me," even before it appears, you accelerate its arrival. Gratitude words are faith words, spoken in anticipation of fulfillment. They affirm that the blessing already exists in the unseen and must soon show itself in the visible. Every thank you you utter plants another seed of increase. Every expression of appreciation draws more reasons to be grateful. To complain is to delay, but to give thanks is to hasten the manifestation. When you feel the urge to speak negatively about money, stop and choose a higher word. Replace "I can't afford it" with "I choose to wait for the right moment." Replace "money is hard to earn" with "money flows to me in effortless ways." Replace "I never get opportunities" with "opportunities are seeking me now." These shifts may seem small, but their cumulative power is immense. Over time, they reprogram your consciousness, change your vibration, and rewrite your story. The creative power of words is not limited by circumstance, economy, or background. It operates universally for all who dare to use it. The richest man and the poorest beggar both speak words daily, and those words determine their conditions. If you desire to move from lack to abundance, from debt to freedom, from struggle to ease, begin with your speech. Say what you want, not what you fear. Speak the life you wish to live until it becomes your reality. Your words are the brushstrokes painting the canvas of your future. With every affirmation of wealth, you are drawing money closer. With every declaration of abundance, you are constructing a financial fortress around your life. So, let your mouth be a fountain of prosperity. Let your tongue be a channel for riches. Do not allow careless words to scatter seeds of poverty. Instead, let every phrase you speak be rich, strong, and life-giving. Say it boldly, I am wealthy, money loves me, I attract prosperity now. Repeat it until it becomes the only truth your heart accepts, for in the end your life will always echo the power of your words. Affirmations are not idle phrases, nor are they wishful thoughts tossed into the wind. They are spiritual decrees, commands issued from the throne of your consciousness, spoken into the vast intelligence of the universe. When you declare an affirmation, you are not simply hoping. You are authorizing unseen forces to align with your words and bring them into manifestation. To speak an affirmation with faith is to exercise divine authority. It is to take hold of the creative power that was given to you at birth, the power to call things that are not as though they are, and watch them appear in your life. The difference between a casual statement and a true affirmation is belief. A casual statement says, I wish I had money. An affirmation proclaims, I now receive unlimited wealth from expected and unexpected sources. The first is weak, uncertain, and powerless. The second is a decree, carrying the vibration of certainty that reshapes reality. Decrees are not timid. They command, they insist, they demand attention from the universe. When you affirm with authority, you are standing as the master of your fate, the ruler of your destiny, the heir to infinite abundance. Imagine a king seated upon his throne. When he issues a decree, there is no doubt, no hesitation, no question. His words carry the weight of law. The decree sets armies in motion, changes conditions, shifts lives. So it is with you. You are the sovereign of your world, and your affirmations are laws you lay down for your life. When you declare, I prosper in all my ways, that statement becomes a royal command. Invisible forces move to fulfill it. Opportunities arise, doors open, ideas spark, and wealth finds its path to you. The universe obeys the decree of faith. It is important to recognize that affirmations spoken once without conviction may fall flat, just as a king's command, given in doubt, may be ignored. The power lies in repetition, consistency, and the energy with which the words are spoken. To say daily, money flows to me freely, joyously, and endlessly, is to hammer truth into the subconscious mind until it becomes the only reality it knows. The subconscious does not argue, debate, or reject. It accepts and creates. Each affirmation it receives becomes an instruction it carries out with precision. Affirmations must also be spoken in the present tense. You do not say, I will be prosperous, for that forever places prosperity in the future, just out of reach. You say, I am prosperous now. You do not say, one day I will be debt-free. You say, all my debts are paid in full, and I live in financial freedom now. The present tense is the language of power. It affirms that the reality exists already in the unseen and must soon materialize in the visible. When you speak as though it is done, life rearranges itself to make it so. Consider the transformation that happens when affirmations are spoken with emotion. Words without feeling are like seeds scattered on stone. They cannot take root. But words spoken with passion, with conviction, with joy, are like seeds planted in fertile soil, watered and nourished, ready to bloom. If you declare, I am a magnet for wealth, with lifeless monotony, you may not stir the forces within you. But if you declare it with fire in your voice, with faith in your heart, with vision in your mind, then the universe must respond. Feelings are the fuel that give life to affirmations. Another secret of affirmations as decrees is persistence. You may not see results the first day, the first week, or even the first month. But as surely as day follows night, results must come. Affirmations are like chisels striking stone. Each repetition chips away at the old patterns of poverty, fear, and doubt until finally the masterpiece of abundance is revealed. Do not stop because you see no immediate change. Affirmations are seeds, and seeds take time to sprout. Keep watering them with your faith, and the harvest will appear. Let us also remember that affirmations work hand in hand with action. When you affirm wealth, you attune your mind to opportunities. You begin to notice doors that were always there but invisible before. You feel nudges to make calls, send messages, start ventures, take steps that align with your decree. Affirmations prepare the inner ground so that outer action can bear fruit. When you say, "I am guided to my highest good," you open yourself to divine inspiration that shows you exactly what to do and when. The decree is spoken, the guidance arrives, the action follows, and prosperity unfolds. There is a sacredness to affirmations when spoken aloud. To whisper your affirmations in the silence of your heart has power, but to speak them with your lips sends vibrations through the air that multiply their force. Sound is creation. The spoken word carries energy far beyond the body. Each syllable resonates in the ethers, calling forth its likeness. That is why ancient traditions spoke of the word as the beginning of all things. When you affirm aloud, you are imitating that creative principle, calling into existence what already belongs to you in the unseen. So let your affirmations be clear, bold, and unwavering. Say them as decrees, not as requests. Speak them as laws, not as wishes. Fill them with life, repetition, and gratitude. Say it, "I am rich in mind, body, and spirit. Money flows to me in perfect ways. I am divinely supplied and supported at all times." Say it until you believe it. Say it until your subconscious accepts it. Say it until life itself cannot help but obey. Affirmations are not small acts. They are the voice of power declaring your reality. When you understand this, you will never again speak carelessly. For every word is a decree, and every decree shapes your world. Money is not a cold, lifeless object made of paper and coins. It is energy, vibrant and alive, flowing through the universe like a river, waiting for those who know how to align with its current. To believe that money is scarce, limited, or difficult to attain is to misunderstand its nature. Money is everywhere, circulating freely, moving from hand to hand, from country to country, from business to business. It is not bound by borders or confined by circumstances. Like the air you breathe, it is abundant and infinite, available to all who open themselves to receive it. The great error of many is to view money as something outside of themselves, something hard to chase, something that belongs to others but not to them. But the truth is that money, being energy, responds to vibration. It flows toward faith, confidence, and expectancy. It retreats from fear, doubt, and resentment. Just as a magnet attracts iron, so the mind filled with prosperous thoughts draws money naturally. The wealthy are not lucky. They are in tune with the energy of abundance. They think richly, they feel richly, they expect richly, and therefore money comes to them without struggle. When you understand that money is energy, you stop chasing it and start attracting it. You realize that the same life force that flows through you also flows through every dollar in circulation. Money is not separate from you. It is part of the same divine supply that feeds the birds, grows the trees, and sustains the stars. It is spirit clothed in paper and metal, an expression of the infinite abundance of the universe. And because you are one with that universe, you are one with money. It is your right, your inheritance, your natural companion. Fear of money blocks its flow. When you say, "I never have enough," you are damming the river. When you resent those who prosper, you are pushing abundance away from yourself. When you cling tightly to what little you have, believing it may be taken, you are shrinking your channel. But when you declare, "Money flows freely through me. I give generously and I receive abundantly," you remove the barriers and allow the current of wealth to rush in. The more freely you let it move, the more it multiplies. Energy must circulate. When it stagnates, it dies. That is why giving and receiving are both vital. To give joyously is to acknowledge the infinite flow. To receive gladly is to honor the abundance that surrounds you. Think of money as a current of electricity. Electricity cannot be seen, but its effects are everywhere. It powers homes, lights cities, drives machines. In the same way, money as energy empowers ideas, builds businesses, creates opportunities, and sustains lives. To say you do not have enough money is like standing in a house wired with electricity and saying there is no power. The power is there, waiting for the switch to be flipped. Your affirmations, beliefs, and expectations are that switch. The moment you align with abundance, the current begins to flow. When you say, I am aligned with the energy of wealth, you are tuning your inner frequency to the vibration of money. Just as a radio must be tuned to the right station to receive a clear signal, so your mind must be tuned to the frequency of abundance to receive prosperity. If you are tuned to lack, you cannot pick up the station of wealth. But with a shift of thought, a shift of belief, you move the dial, and suddenly the music of money plays in your life. Opportunities you never noticed appear. People who can help you arrive. Ideas that bring increased flow into your mind. The energy of money is drawn to your new frequency. Gratitude is one of the most powerful ways to align with this energy. When you give thanks for money, whether large or small, you amplify the vibration of abundance. Gratitude says, I already have, and I expect more. It tells the universe you are open, receptive, and ready. The energy of money responds to that openness by flowing more freely. On the other hand, complaint and ingratitude lower your vibration and cut you off from the flow. If you cannot appreciate the little you have, you block the great that seeks to reach you. Gratitude is the bridge that carries money energy into your life. Remember, too, that money has no morality of its own. It is not good or evil. It takes on the quality of the energy with which it is used. In the hands of the fearful, it can cause worry and misery. In the hands of the generous, it becomes a tool for blessing, building, and healing. Money is a servant, not a master. When you treat it as energy, you see that it comes not to control you, but to serve your higher purpose. Respect it, bless it, use it wisely, and it will multiply. Fear it, misuse it, or curse it, and it will slip from your grasp. To manifest more money, shift your focus from chasing to radiating. Stop saying, how can I get money? And begin declaring, I radiate wealth and money flows to me. Money energy is drawn to confidence, joy, and faith. It avoids desperation and fear. When you act as though you already have abundance, you step into harmony with the energy of wealth, and that harmony must attract its likeness. Walk, speak, and live as if prosperity is your natural state, and soon it will be. So declare boldly, money is energy and I am aligned with it. It flows to me freely and abundantly. I give generously, I receive joyously, and I live in continuous circulation of wealth. Say it until you feel it. Say it until every thought of lack dissolves. Say it until you see proof in your life. For money, like all energy, obeys the law of vibration. When you vibrate wealth, money must come. It has no choice, for it is drawn to its own kind. Align with abundance, and abundance will align with you. Fear is the great thief of abundance. It creeps into the heart, whispering that there is never enough, that money is scarce, that tomorrow holds uncertainty and loss. This fear of lack has imprisoned countless souls, binding them to cycles of worry and struggle, not because abundance is absent, but because fear has closed the door against it. To release fear of lack is to open the floodgates of prosperity. As long as fear rules the mind, wealth cannot flow, for fear blocks the channel through which blessings arrive. But when fear is cast aside and faith takes its place, money flows like a mighty river, unstoppable and abundant. Understand this truth: fear and faith cannot occupy the same space. One must drive out the other. When you think thoughts of fear, what if I lose my job? What if I can't pay the bills? What if I never get ahead? You are rehearsing poverty. You are rehearsing lack, and the universe responds by giving you more of what you fear. But when you think thoughts of faith, I am always provided for. Every need is already met. Money comes to me in expected and unexpected ways. You are rehearsing abundance, and life responds with increase. Fear creates lack, faith creates wealth. Fear of lack often disguises itself as caution or realism. Many believe they are being sensible when they say, I can't afford it, or times are hard, or I must be careful with money because it runs out quickly. But these statements are not realism. They are fear wearing the mask of wisdom. True wisdom recognizes that money is unlimited, that supply is infinite, that opportunities are endless. True wisdom speaks with confidence, not with worry. To release fear is not to ignore reality, but to affirm a higher reality, that divine abundance cannot be exhausted, and that what belongs to you cannot be withheld. Releasing fear of lack begins with the tongue. Stop speaking words of limitation, for each negative phrase feeds the fear. Replace them with bold affirmations of abundance. Instead of saying, I never have enough, declare, I always have more than enough. Instead of saying, money is hard to come by, affirm, money comes to me easily and continuously. Instead of saying, I'm afraid of losing what I have, speak, what is mine by divine right is secure and cannot be taken from me. Each time you replace fear-filled words with faith-filled decrees, you weaken the grip of lack and strengthen the current of abundance. Another way fear of lack holds people captive is through worry about the future. They live today under the shadow of tomorrow's imagined troubles, but tomorrow has not yet come, and to borrow its worries is to waste today's blessings. The truth is, life provides for you one day at a time. Just as the sun rises without fail, so too does provision arrive without fail. When you release tomorrow's fears, you free today's prosperity to manifest. Declare, I live fully provided for in this moment, and every tomorrow unfolds in perfect supply. Trust that each step you take will be met with what you need. Gratitude is the great antidote to fear. When you give thanks for what you already have, fear has no room to speak. Gratitude says, I am cared for, I am supported, I am abundant. It acknowledges the evidence of prosperity that already surrounds you, whether in a small coin or a large sum. Fear looks at what is missing. Gratitude celebrates what is present, and what you celebrate multiplies. When you fill your heart with thanks for every provision, the universe sends more for which to be thankful. Fear shrinks the channel, but gratitude expands it wide. Consider how fear of lack causes people to cling tightly to money, hoarding it, hiding it, afraid it will vanish. But hoarding is rooted in fear, and fear blocks the flow. Money, like energy, must circulate. To give freely is to prove you are not afraid. It is to say, I trust the infinite supply, I know more is coming, and that trust becomes a magnet for increase. Every generous act loosens fear's hold. Every offering, every gift, every act of kindness is a declaration that you are free from the chains of lack. And in that freedom, money flows more abundantly. Fear also thrives in comparison. Many look at others who prosper and feel resentment, envy, or despair, as if another's wealth diminishes their own. But fear of lack lies at the root of this jealousy. The truth is, another's abundance is proof of possibility, not a threat. When you rejoice in another's prosperity, you affirm the principle that abundance is limitless. Their success does not take from you. It demonstrates what is available for all. Celebrate the wealth you see around you, and you align yourself with that same prosperity. The ultimate release of fear comes from trust. Trust in the higher order of life. Trust that you are guided. Trust that supply is constant. Fear says, I am alone. Trust says, I am supported by an infinite source. Fear says, what if I fall? Trust says, I am upheld by divine law. Fear says, I will lose what I have. Trust says, what belongs to me is mine forever. Each time you choose trust over fear, you move closer to the flow of wealth that has always been yours. So stand today and declare, I release all fear of lack. I am fearless in my finances. I live in an abundant universe where every need is supplied and every desire fulfilled. Money flows to me freely, and I walk in prosperity without worry. Say it until the fear dissolves. Say it until you feel the courage rise within you. Say it until your life itself bears witness that there is nothing to fear, for lack is an illusion and abundance is the truth. Words are not mere sounds carried into the air. They are forces alive with energy, shaping the very conditions of your life. When you speak, you decree, and what you decree begins to take form. Bold affirmations are the golden keys that unlock the treasure house of prosperity. Each declaration you make with faith is a seed planted in the fertile soil of the universe, and that seed must bear fruit. When you say with conviction, "Money flows to me freely and abundantly," you set in motion unseen forces that conspire to make it true. The world begins to rearrange itself to match your spoken word. Many underestimate the power of the tongue. They speak lack casually, unaware that every careless word is planting weeds in their financial garden. "I can't afford this. I'm always broke. Money never stays with me." Such phrases are curses that bind prosperity. But when you replace them with bold affirmations of wealth, "I am prosperous now. I always have more than enough. Money loves me and flows to me endlessly," you plant the seeds of abundance that grow into riches. The tongue can bless or curse, open or close, build or destroy. Bold affirmations are the weapon that turn defeat into victory and scarcity into wealth. Affirmations are not empty wishes. They are statements of truth spoken ahead of their visible arrival. The moment you speak them, they are real in the unseen. Just as a farmer plants seeds before he sees the harvest, so must you speak abundance before it manifests. The soil does not doubt the seed. The universe does not doubt your words. Only you must believe. Your words carry the vibration of your faith, and that vibration calls forth the money, opportunities, and blessings that match it. Bold affirmations are bridges from the invisible to the visible, from thought to manifestation. It is not enough to whisper timidly. Affirmations must be bold, vibrant, alive. Speak them as though they were already true, because in the spiritual realm they are. Say, "I am wealthy now. Money comes to me in expected and unexpected ways. Every dollar I spend returns multiplied." Say it with joy, with certainty, with fire in your spirit, for the universe does not respond to weak murmurs of doubt, but to bold declarations of faith. The louder your conviction within, the swifter the manifestation without. Consistency is the lifeblood of affirmations. One bold word spoken once is a spark, but repeated affirmations are a blazing fire that nothing can extinguish. Each time you affirm abundance, you reinforce the pathway of prosperity in your subconscious. You rewire your mind to expect wealth, and expectation is the magnet of manifestation. Do not grow weary if results seem delayed. Just as the seed takes time to break the soil, so too do your affirmations require persistence. Speak them daily, hourly, whenever fear tries to creep in. Bold affirmations are your shield, your sword, your fortress against lack. The beauty of affirmations is that they not only draw money, but transform you into the kind of person who naturally attracts it. When you boldly declare prosperity, you begin to think, feel, and act like the wealthy. You make choices from abundance rather than fear. You carry yourself with confidence. You radiate a vibration that draws opportunities, allies, and resources. Affirmations shape your inner state, and your inner state shapes your outer world. The more you affirm, the more you align with the prosperous self that already exists within you. Gratitude amplifies the power of affirmations. When you speak, "I am wealthy," and then give thanks as though it were already so, you supercharge your words with divine power. Gratitude seals the affirmation, turning it from mere words into living truth. Say, "Thank you, universe, that I am wealthy. Thank you that money flows to me now. Thank you that I am always supported and supplied." Gratitude transforms affirmation into celebration, and celebration draws the blessing nearer. Remember also that affirmations are not confined to words alone. Every thought is an unspoken affirmation. Every feeling is an energy broadcast. If your tongue speaks wealth but your mind rehearses lack, the affirmation loses its power. To be bold is to align thought, feeling, and word in one direction. Let your mind dwell on abundance, your heart feel the joy of increase, and your mouth declare prosperity. When all three agree, the manifestation is unstoppable. Do not let the world, with its talk of recessions and shortages, dictate your affirmations. The world may say, there is not enough, but you must boldly declare, I live in infinite supply. The world may say, money is hard to come by, but you must say, money flows to me with ease. The world may say, prepare for lack, but you must proclaim, I prepare for abundance. The world's words create scarcity. Your words create wealth. Stand apart, speak boldly, and let your declarations lift you above limitation. So rise today and declare with boldness, I am prosperous now. I am rich in every way. Money loves me, seeks me, and stays with me. I am a magnet for wealth, and I radiate abundance wherever I go. Say it until every cell in your body vibrates with it. Say it until your world shifts to reflect it. For bold affirmations are the keys to unlock the vaults of heaven, and with them, nothing is withheld from you. Money is not meant to sit stagnant like water in a blocked stream. It is meant to flow, to move, to circulate. The law of circulation is the rhythm of life itself. Just as the heart beats and blood flows, just as the tides rise and fall, so must wealth move through giving and receiving. When money is hoarded in fear, it becomes like water trapped in a pond, breeding stagnation and decay. But when money is allowed to circulate, when it is spent with joy and given with generosity, it returns multiplied, fresh, and abundant, like a river that never runs dry. Many people hold tightly to what little they have, afraid to let it go, believing that by clinging they are safe. Yet in their clinging, they choke the flow of prosperity. Money is energy, and energy thrives in movement. To give freely is to show trust in the infinite source of supply. Each time you release money with gratitude, you declare, there is more where this came from. And in that declaration, you align with the law that guarantees return. What you send out comes back, often greater than what you released. Think of nature. The farmer does not fear scattering seeds across the soil. He knows that every seed planted multiplies into a harvest far larger than the seed itself. Money works the same way. Every time you spend with faith or give with love, you are planting seeds of prosperity. They may sprout in ways you do not expect, through opportunities, unexpected income, or doors opening where once there were walls. But sprout they will, for the law of circulation is unbreakable. The fear of loss keeps many trapped in lack. They count every coin, afraid it will vanish, and in that fear they repel increase. But when you embrace circulation, when you trust that release is part of gain, you step into the river of abundance. Let money flow through your hands without fear, and you will never lack, because you are connected to the infinite stream of supply. Money given with joy blesses both the giver and the receiver, and in blessing multiplies itself. Circulation is not reckless spending, it is wise flow. When you spend with resentment, you cut the current. When you give with grudging, you block the blessing. But when you release money with joy, paying bills with gratitude, tipping generously, supporting causes that uplift, you infuse the act with positive energy, and that energy returns. Every dollar released in joy is a messenger that carries wealth back to you in multiplied form. Generosity is the master key to unlocking circulation. The hand that gives is the hand that receives. To bless others with your wealth is to expand the channel through which your own blessings arrive. When you release fear and give, you prove to yourself and the universe that you believe in infinite supply, and faith in infinite supply can only attract more of it. The miser, though he clings to coins, often finds his wealth dwindling. The generous soul, though he gives, often finds his wealth increasing. This is the law of circulation at work. Circulation also requires receptivity. Just as you give, you must be willing to receive. Many block the flow by rejecting gifts, refusing help, or feeling unworthy of abundance. But to refuse to receive is to stop half of the current. Open your hands, open your heart, and welcome the blessings that come in expected and unexpected ways. Say with joy, I am worthy to receive. I accept with gratitude all the wealth that flows to me now. Giving and receiving are two halves of the same divine cycle, and both must be embraced. Understand also that circulation is not limited to money alone. Every act of kindness, every word of encouragement, every service rendered is part of the wealth you circulate. And as you release goodness, so goodness returns. Money is but one form of abundance. Love, opportunities, health, and joy also circulate in this great law. The more you release, the more you receive. The more you give, the more you grow. When you align yourself with the law of circulation, you begin to trust the ebb and flow of money. You no longer panic when it flows out, because you know it must flow back in. You no longer fear giving, because you know the return is certain. You begin to live in a state of ease, knowing that prosperity is a current that never ends, and you are part of its endless cycle. So declare today, I am a free and joyful channel for the circulation of wealth. Money flows to me and through me in endless streams of abundance. What I give returns multiplied. I release fear, I embrace flow, and I live in the rhythm of infinite prosperity. Speak it, believe it, live it, and you will see the river of wealth carry you into realms of abundance beyond imagination. Faith is the invisible gold that underlies every coin, every bill, every fortune ever built. Without faith, money remains elusive, but with faith, wealth becomes inevitable. Faith is not hoping, wishing, or longing. It is knowing with certainty that what you seek is already yours. It is the unshakable conviction that abundance is present, even when the purse is empty and the bank account shows lack. Faith is the anchor in the storm and the bridge across the gap between desire and manifestation. Those who lack faith are like wanderers on shifting sands, tossed by every wind of circumstance. When money delays, they despair. When bills rise, they tremble. When the world speaks of scarcity, they bow in fear. But the soul of faith stands tall and unshaken. It looks at an empty hand and declares, I am rich. It sees only closed doors and says, my opportunities are endless. It faces lack and proclaims, I live in abundance now. This bold faith transforms what is unseen into what is seen. Faith is a magnet that draws resources, ideas, and opportunities into your path. When you believe deeply, you emit a vibration of certainty that the universe cannot ignore. It must answer. Faith is the divine law written into the fabric of life. What you believe, you receive. The moment you accept abundance in your heart and mind as true, circumstances begin to shift. People you have never met rise to help you. A door you never noticed swings open. Money appears in ways you did not predict. Faith sets the law in motion. Doubt is the thief of prosperity. Every time you say, I don't know how I'll make it, you cut the roots of wealth. Every time you let fear dictate your choices, you block the flow of supply. Faith requires that you release the how and rest in the knowing that the how will reveal itself. You need not see the entire staircase. You need only take the first step with confidence, trusting that the ground will appear beneath your feet. Faith is not passive. It is not sitting idle, waiting for miracles to fall. True faith inspires action. It awakens creativity, fuels persistence, and strengthens the will. A person of faith does not shrink from work, but works with joy, knowing each effort is blessed and multiplied. They step boldly into opportunities, even when uncertain, because they trust that the divine law will guide and provide. Every fortune ever made began as an act of faith. Every invention, every empire, every success story sprang first from a mind that dared to believe. Faith is the birthplace of wealth. When you hold it firmly, you are wealth in embryo, destined to take form. Without it, even great resources slip through the fingers. With it, even empty hands become overflowing. Nurture faith through your words. Speak as though your abundance were here now. Let your declarations be soaked in conviction. Say, I am divinely supplied. I always have more than enough. Money flows to me with ease. Repeat it until the truth of it fills your soul and no fear can shake it. Nurture faith through your imagination. See yourself living in wealth, enjoying prosperity, walking in freedom. Feel the joy of it now, and that joy will draw its own fulfillment. Guard your faith from the voices of doubt. The world may tell you money is scarce, opportunities are rare, and success is reserved for the few. But faith listens to a higher voice, the voice that whispers, all is possible, all is provided, all is yours. Choose that voice, hold fast to it, and let no shadow of doubt extinguish its flame. Faith is the seed, prosperity is the harvest. Plant it firmly, water it daily, protect it fiercely, and the harvest cannot fail. Believe, and you shall receive. Stand in faith, and wealth will stand with you. What the mind sees with clarity, the body and life must one day experience. Visualization is not idle daydreaming. It is the deliberate act of shaping reality with the power of imagination. Every fortune, every invention, every triumph was first pictured in the unseen before it appeared in the seen. The house must be drawn before it is built. The song must be heard in the soul before it is sung. The wealth must be envisioned before it flows into the hands. To visualize prosperity is to magnetize it, to summon it from the invisible into the tangible. Your imagination is the workshop of creation, a sacred temple where riches are designed. When you close your eyes and see yourself living in abundance, when you walk in your mind through the home you desire, when you feel the weight of money in your hand, you are not pretending. You are rehearsing reality. The universe responds not to your current conditions, but to the images you hold with conviction. Hold lack in your mind, and lack multiplies. Hold prosperity, and prosperity rushes to meet you. The power of visualization lies in emotion. A lifeless picture has no pull, but a vision soaked in feeling is irresistible. Do not merely see yourself with money. Feel the thrill of holding it, the freedom it brings, the joy of giving generously, the peace of knowing you are supplied. Let the vision be vivid, colorful, and alive. Feel the texture of the notes, the smile of gratitude, the laughter of freedom. When the image is drenched in emotion, it becomes a magnetic force drawing its likeness into your life. Many dismiss visualization as fantasy, but it is the highest form of faith. To see what is not yet visible and believe in it as real is the essence of creation. The seed does not yet show the harvest, yet the farmer imagines the fields golden with grain. The embryo does not yet walk, yet the mother imagines the child full of life. So too must you imagine your wealth before it arrives, knowing that the unseen is the womb of the seen. Visualization must be consistent. A picture seen once and forgotten is like a seed thrown on rocky ground. But a vision rehearsed daily grows roots deep in the subconscious. Each time you revisit the picture, you engrave it deeper into the fabric of your mind, and the mind, in turn, begins to shape your actions, choices, and circumstances to match it. The more you see yourself prosperous within, the faster prosperity appears without. Use visualization to transform fear into faith. When anxiety whispers, "You cannot afford," close your eyes and see yourself paying with ease. When doubt says, "There is not enough," picture yourself surrounded by overflowing supply. Replace every image of lack with a picture of abundance, and soon your mind will be so saturated with wealth that lack will find no room to stay. Do not limit your vision to money alone. Envision a life of freedom, generosity, health, joy, and purpose. Wealth is not just currency, it is the fullness of life. See yourself living richly in every way: spirit, mind, body, and finances. And that fullness will take form, for the universe responds to wholeness, and when you picture abundance in all things, you attract balance and harmony along with wealth. Visualization is a practice of faith and gratitude combined. As you see yourself prosperous, Give thanks as though it were already done. Say, thank you that this is mine now. Thank you that I live in abundance. Gratitude seals the vision, binding it to reality. In your heart, celebrate the wealth as though it were already here, and life will conspire to match your celebration. Understand this: every time you visualize prosperity, you are aligning with the law of creation. You are drawing a blueprint in the invisible, and the invisible always precedes the visible. Hold the vision, feel the joy, give thanks, and act in alignment, and the prosperity you have pictured must appear. So dare to see yourself wealthy, dare to imagine the fullness of your dreams, dare to picture the life of abundance you desire. For what you see with unwavering faith, you will one day hold in your hands. Visualization is the magnet, and prosperity is the iron. It cannot help but be drawn to you. Fear and doubt are the great thieves of wealth. They creep into the mind disguised as caution, disguised as logic, disguised as being realistic. But their true purpose is always the same: to block the flow of abundance. Fear whispers, there isn't enough. And doubt replies, you don't deserve it. Together, they weave a prison around the soul, keeping riches out of reach. Yet the moment you cast them out, the prison doors swing wide, and prosperity rushes in like sunlight, flooding a darkened room. Fear is the shadow of lack, the illusion that supply is limited. It convinces many to hoard, to cling, to shrink back instead of stepping boldly forward. But fear is a liar. There is no shortage in the divine storehouse. The universe is rich, overflowing, infinite. Every tree gives countless seeds, every ocean endless waves, every sunrise another chance. Why should money be any different? When you release fear, you align with the truth that abundance is everywhere, waiting only for you to claim it. Doubt is subtler but no less destructive. It is the quiet voice that asks, what if it doesn't work? What if you fail? What if the promise of abundance is just an illusion? But doubt, too, is a deception. It masquerades as wisdom but breeds paralysis. Doubt delays decisions, sabotages opportunities, and turns blessings into burdens. The soul that doubts is like a ship without anchor, tossed in every direction, never reaching harbor. But when you silence doubt and replace it with certainty, you set your course firmly toward prosperity, and nothing can divert you. To let go of fear and doubt is to step into faith. Faith is not naive nor blind, it is bold vision. It sees what others cannot see. It declares abundance in the face of lack, security in the midst of uncertainty, supply where others see only need. Faith does not deny reality, it creates a higher reality. It lifts you above appearances and connects you to the unseen storehouse where all things are possible. Letting go of fear is an act of trust. Trust that every bill has an answer, every problem a solution, every need a supply. Trust that money flows not from people, jobs, or markets alone, but from the infinite source behind all channels. Fear focuses on the channel and trembles when one dries up. Faith focuses on the source and rejoices, knowing new channels will open. When you stop clinging in fear, your hands are free to receive greater blessings. Letting go of doubt requires training the tongue and mind. Replace every thought of I can't with I can. Replace I don't know how with the way is being shown. Replace what if I fail with I was born to succeed. Words are weapons against doubt, and each bold affirmation is a victory over uncertainty. The more you speak faith, the weaker doubt becomes, until it vanishes altogether. Fear and doubt are powerless when confronted directly. They feed on silence and avoidance, but they shrink when faced with truth. The truth is this: you are meant to prosper. Wealth is your birthright. The universe is abundant, and you are one with that abundance. When you declare this truth, fear dissolves and doubt crumbles. They cannot survive in the presence of light. Understand also that fear and doubt often appear before the greatest breakthroughs. They are the final guardians at the threshold of abundance, testing whether you will retreat or press forward. Do not retreat. Step boldly through. Declare, I refuse fear. I reject doubt. I choose faith. I choose abundance. And as you step, the doors swing open, revealing treasures beyond your imagination. So release fear, release doubt, and embrace the certainty of prosperity. Live as though wealth is already yours. Walk in confidence, speak with authority, act with courage. For the soul free of fear and doubt is a magnet for riches, and nothing can withhold from the one who knows abundance is their destiny. Fear and doubt are the great thieves of wealth. They creep into the mind disguised as caution, disguised as logic, disguised as being realistic. But their true purpose is always the same: to block the flow of abundance. Fear whispers, there isn't enough, and doubt replies, you don't deserve it. Together they weave a prison around the soul, keeping riches out of reach. Yet the moment you cast them out, the prison doors swing wide, and prosperity rushes in like sunlight flooding a darkened room. Fear is the shadow of lack, the illusion that supply is limited. It convinces many to hoard, to cling, to shrink back instead of stepping boldly forward. But fear is a liar. There is no shortage in the divine storehouse. The universe is rich, overflowing, infinite. Every tree gives countless seeds, every ocean endless waves, every sunrise another chance. Why should money be any different? When you release fear, you align with the truth that abundance is everywhere, waiting only for you to claim it. Doubt is subtler, but no less destructive. It is the quiet voice that asks, what if it doesn't work? What if you fail? What if the promise of abundance is just an illusion? But doubt, too, is a deception. It masquerades as wisdom but breeds paralysis. Doubt delays decisions, sabotages opportunities, and turns blessings into burdens. The soul that doubts is like a ship without anchor, tossed in every direction, never reaching harbor. But when you silence doubt and replace it with certainty, you set your course firmly toward prosperity, and nothing can divert you. To let go of fear and doubt is to step into faith. Faith is not naive nor blind, it is bold vision. It sees what others cannot see. It declares abundance in the face of lack, security in the midst of uncertainty, supply where others see only need. Faith does not deny reality. It creates a higher reality. It lifts you above appearances and connects you to the unseen storehouse where all things are possible. Letting go of fear is an act of trust. Trust that every bill has an answer, every problem a solution, every need a supply. Trust that money flows not from people, jobs, or markets alone, but from the infinite source behind all channels. Fear focuses on the channel and trembles when one dries up. Faith focuses on the source and rejoices, knowing new channels will open. When you stop clinging in fear, your hands are free to receive greater blessings. Letting go of doubt requires training the tongue and mind. Replace every thought of I can't with I can. Replace I don't know how with the way is being shown. Replace what if I fail with I was born to succeed. Words are weapons against doubt, and each bold affirmation is a victory over uncertainty. The more you speak faith, the weaker doubt becomes until it vanishes altogether. Fear and doubt are powerless when confronted directly. They feed on silence and avoidance, but they shrink when faced with truth. The truth is this: you are meant to prosper. Wealth is your birthright. The universe is abundant, and you are one with that abundance. When you declare this truth with boldness, fear loses its grip and doubt flees. So rise today and proclaim, I will not fear, I will not doubt. I walk in faith, I live in abundance, and I claim the riches that are already mine. Say it until every fiber of your being believes it. Say it until the shadows vanish. Say it until your world bends to match your words. For the soul that has let go of fear and doubt becomes unstoppable, and prosperity has no choice but to answer its call.